Hey guys, it's Caleb, and welcome back to the Pink Side. So, as you guys know, I've been doing a lot of videos and writings and stuff like that, um, essentially calling out various aspects of the domestic discipline community and calling out various people without naming them within the domestic discipline community who I feel have not been very good representations of the domestic discipline community. Guys, I'm about to tell you something. Now, I don't know how a lot of people are going to take it because I might just lose a lot of followers just for saying this, but I'm ashamed of what the domestic discipline community has become. And I'm ashamed of what the domestic discipline community is today. We've allowed the manosphere and the red pill and the teachings from people like Andrew Tate and Myron Gaines and Fresh and Fit and others to infect this community to the point where respect for women is non-existent in large portions of the domestic discipline community. And the worst part is I see prominent leaders in the domestic discipline community, leaders that I once considered friends. There's one woman in particular, I won't say what her name is because I'm not trying to call her out directly, but on a near daily basis, she posts things from these manosphere accounts telling guys not to date women with over a certain body count, or to stay away from women who have bad relationships with their fathers, and all this, that, and the other. And she posts things where guys, like an older woman who was a feminist, will realize the error of her ways, and she'll start making a video crying because she's facing the prospect of, maybe passing away alone. And these manosphere guys are making comments under her videos, making fun of her, telling her she deserves her path, and just saying the meanest, nastiest things about her. And prominent members of the domestic discipline community are posting this stuff. Let me tell you something, guys. I've been around this community for a long time. The OGs of the domestic discipline community, the guys that used to be what you would call gatekeepers, they would have never tolerated this. Never. They would have never tolerated the absolute lack of respect and disdain for women that has infected the domestic discipline community. Now, I'm not mad at Andrew Tate. But Andrew Tate is not part of the DD community. So Andrew Tate, as long as he's outside the community, I don't care what he does. He can say what he wants about women, make his money, more power to him. But the domestic discipline community is supposed to be a place where all women from all walks of life are welcome, valued, respected, and even loved. Doesn't matter what their body count is. We ain't going to be judging you because you had a bad relationship with your father. For all we know, your father could have been the jerk in that situation. There ain't going to be none of that. We're just going to judge you by how you treat us. But these teachings have infected the domestic discipline community. So for you guys and even you girls who have been infected by this manosphere stuff, I got to ask you, what do you get out of this? What do you get out of degrading a bunch of women who you don't know and who have never done a darn thing to hurt you? Can you answer that? And a lot of you are middle-aged. Like, how is it that a bunch of middle-aged men and women are pointing fingers and laughing at some girl who's crying her eyes out because she might face the rest of her life alone or whatever? Since when does that kind of attitude line up with the values of the domestic discipline community? It doesn't. And let me tell you guys something else. All this language that these manosphere people use, these red pill people that have infected the domestic discipline community, the way they talk about women, I've heard that language before. And guess where I've heard that language? Around teenage gangbangers. Because I hung around serious gang members when I was a teenager. And that's exactly how we talked about women. Add a few cuss words in here and there, and you've got it. Other than that, the way Andrew Tate and these people talk about women, it's the way teenage gangsters talk about women. The way Andrew Tate and them view women, that's the way teenage gangbangers view women. But at least teenagers have an excuse. They're teenagers. Most of us in the domestic discipline community are over the age of 20 or 21. We're supposed to be past our calling women bitches and hoes phase. Let me tell you something else too. A bad attitude towards women combined with the power of domestic discipline is a very dangerous combination. Very, very dangerous combination. No man who thinks like this about women in general belongs in the deity community. Because if you're going to down and degrade a bunch of women you don't know because of body count or because of their family issues or whatever, it's only a matter of time before you start degrading your own woman about some stuff that's not her fault or stuff you shouldn't even be judging her for in the first place. I mean, that's the only thing I can deduct from that. The movie 50 Shades of Grey did the deity community a big favor in this fact that it made a lot of women curious about domestic discipline, a lot of people curious about domestic discipline. But it also invited in a lot of nonsense that wasn't there before. I was part of some of the original domestic discipline groups on Yahoo. I guarantee you wouldn't have been allowed to go into the CDD group on Yahoo talking about don't date this woman because she had a bad relationship with her father. Don't date this woman because she slept with this many guys beforehand, whatever. That kind of judgmental horseshit was not allowed. Now I realize there's nothing I can do about this. This stuff has now infected the deity community, and I hope it passes. I hope this whole manosphere crap within the domestic discipline community is a passing phase. But what I can tell you is on the pink side, which is my section of the deity community, I can control what happens in my side of the community. And no woman is going to be intentionally disrespected on the pink side. It ain't going to happen. If you've decided that you're a man who believes in domestic discipline, then you also must decide that you're a man who values all women, who does not degrade women, who does not judge women. You know, I've spanked a good handful of women. Some of them in relationships, some of them as clients when I was actually in the business. And even when I'm spanking them, I'm encouraging them. I'm telling them good things about themselves. I'm not calling them thoughts and 304s and crap. You know, when a woman's over your knee, she's in the most vulnerable position she can possibly be in, both physically and psychologically. You can do a lot of damage to a woman in that situation if you don't respect her in the first place. Even if you don't say nothing bad, if you just have that kind of attitude, you're maybe going to pound that into her during the spanking, even if you don't intend to. If you don't respect women, you have no business leading a woman. If you don't respect women, you have no business giving a woman a disciplinary spanking for any reason whatsoever. And you have no business in the DD community. And again, I get that the DD community is bigger than me, so I'll probably get some backlash for this. But I expect the world, I expect the manosphere people to be like that. I didn't expect these manosphere red pill nonsense teachings to infect the domestic discipline community. Now they're a normal part of the DD community. Does degrading women make you a better man? Does that somehow build character for you? Because if it does, let me know. Because back when I was a teenager and I was degrading women, that didn't build any character in me. All that did was give me a whole lot of years of guilt later on when I look back on my life as a teenager. That's what it did. All women are valuable. And all women can thrive in the right kind of relationship as long as she's being led. And all women can thrive, almost all women can thrive, in a domestic discipline relationship as long as it's done right. But many of you joining the DD community today, both the men and the women, men, you don't respect women, and women, you don't respect other women. I got better things to do with my time than to degrade people who've never done a darn thing to me. Unless you hurt me, my friends, or my family, I've got nothing bad to say about you. I don't got time to go on the internet and look at some girl with a body count more than 10 and leave stupid, demeaning comments on her YouTube page. That's a human being you're talking to. That's a woman you're talking to, and she can probably bring a lot of value to you if you have the right attitude towards her. You don't need to be an absolute asshat in order to be a leader in your relationship. You can be the man, you can be the boss in your relationship without being a dick. And some of you say, well, I'm not a dick to my woman. Yeah, how long is that going to last? Because you're a dick to a whole lot of women who you don't know and who have never given you really any reason to be a dick to them. Something's got to change within the domestic discipline community. Because these manosphere teachings don't belong here. They're as bad as feminism, if not worse. We are supposed to lead women, yes, with discipline, but largely with love and kindness and understanding, and a little bit of discipline on the side, just to keep the harmony. That's what DD is all about. That's what domestic discipline is all about. It ain't about me, man, you woman, you hoe, you 304, you thought. Miss me with that nonsense. Believe it or not, women were not put in this world to be degraded by you. And for you to say you're part of the DD community, you believe in domestic discipline, and to sit there and call women thoughts, hoes, this, that, and the other, you don't belong in this community, homie. And you'll never be in the pink side. And if I catch you doing that kind of stuff in the pink side, I'm going to put you out immediately. That's it. That's my rant for today, guys.